I'm not a huge consumer of fast fashion, but I've never claimed to be perfect. I do pick up the odd piece every now and then. However, I know a lot of people who watch my videos are way more interested in the non-fast fashion brands. So today I'm going to show you some of my favourite recent non-fast fashion pickups. Some of these were gifted to me, but I only ever work with brands that I actually like, so these are legitimately nice pieces in my opinion. For reference, I'm 5'10", around 140 pounds, and I wear a 29-inch waist, and I'll leave links to everything I'm wearing down in the description box below. First up are some of the most unique loafers I've ever owned. These are the Jack Penny loafers from Unmarked. Unmarked are a brand out of Mexico specialising in shoes and leather goods. Everything is handcrafted using the finest quality materials, as you'll soon see. These are made from a waxed suede leather from the CF Stead tannery in the UK. And as you can see, they've got this purpley plum colour to them, which is something I've never personally seen. Yes, they kind of look like something the Joker might wear, but honestly that doesn't bother me. The suede has a sort of greasy look to it, and it's quite rough in texture. They're stunning but subtle at the same time, so even though they catch the eye, they're not overpowering. In addition to that, they have intricate stitching on the penny keeper and a calf leather inner lining. They're made with a Goodyear welt construction to ensure they're easily resolable, and they have a British-made day-night studded sole, which further adds to the durability. Basically, no shortcuts were taken when making these. In terms of sizing, definitely size up by at least half, or maybe more if you have a wide foot. There's a noticeable break-in period with these, and they will feel too small and very stiff at first, but they stretch out a lot after a few wears. These are just a small part of Unmarked's collection though. I highly recommend checking them out for some really unique takes on classic shoes and boots. Next up is this beautiful shirt slash jacket or shacket from Hiroshi Kato. It's called the Anvil shirt, and I have it here in the light indigo denim. One of the unique things about this shirt is that they've used a 3D pattern construction. What this means is that there are additional side panels which not only make it really comfortable due to the freedom of movement, but also allows the shirt to keep its shape when wearing it. It's made with a loose weave Japanese denim that has a broken in feel to it, meaning it's extremely soft. And the inside has a vintage inspired blanket lining. You don't see these very often. The lining also extends to the cuffs and collar, which is a huge bonus. This double face construction makes this such a heavyweight quality feeling piece that's also very warm and comfortable. It also has vintage inspired rounded chest pockets and hand warmer pockets, which look great and are really convenient. For sizing, I went with a medium. I'd say it's very true fitting, maybe a tad on the small side. I can comfortably wear it with a t-shirt or vest underneath, and can just about get away with a sweater or hoodie as well. It's all made in America to a very high standard, so well worth checking out. Okay, next is something else from Hiroshi Kato. This is their Brace Vintage Diamond Plaid shirt in the ruby colour. And the first thing that drew me to this was that colour. It's called ruby, but it's more of a sort of rusty orange, which you don't find very often. In fact, I only ever see this type of colour on true vintage shirts from the 50s to 70s, which are quite difficult to get hold of. I feel like a lot of shirts with a plaid pattern are labelled as flannels these days, but they often disappoint. This thing is a proper flannel. It's made of 100% Japanese cotton, which has a heavyweight textured feel to it. It's quite a loose weave though, so very versatile for keeping you warm when layering, but also enough airflow comes in to keep you cool when worn on its own. Everything is triple stitched and of course made in the USA, so the construction quality is noticeable. It also has this chain stitch runoff at the side seams, which is a unique detail that Hiroshi Kato add to some of their shirts. I went for size medium in this, and it's the same fit as the shacket I showed off earlier. So maybe a tad on the smaller side, but I can still comfortably get a layer or two on underneath if needed. Although my main use for this shirt is going to be wearing it on its own during the spring and summer. I just think the colour and pattern is absolutely made for the brighter days. Okay, another pair of shoes I got recently are these Summit boots from Collegium. As you can see, these are very much in that hiker boot style, which has been super popular over the past few years. But what really stood out to me is how they've done their own take on it. I already own the Dana Mountain Lights, which are amazing boots. And I'm not sure if they came up with the original design, but a lot of hiking boots sort of look like a copy and paste of that same design. These Collegium boots have obviously been influenced by that design as well, but they also look unique. Collegium seem to source most of their manufacturing and materials in Italy. Now, unlike the loafers I showed off earlier, these are super soft from day one. The leather is extremely supple and comfortable. It's a smooth and shiny Italian leather. And you can see they come with the blue laces, which really pop, but they also come with spares if you want something more subtle. They have a chunky Vibram sole which gives them a lot of grip and stability, so don't be fooled, these are proper hiking boots. They don't do half sizes, but the general advice if you're in between sizes is to size down. That's exactly what I did and they fit great. Collegium have loads of other designs that are inspired by classics, so worth checking out if you want to elevate your shoe game. Next up is something I picked up a while ago but forgot to show you, so here it is now. It's this vintage Carhartt Detroit jacket in the sort of salmon pink colourway. It's officially called the WJ097 VRS. W meaning it's from the women's range and VRS stands for Vintage Rose, I believe. I think this was sold pre-faded. It was made in 2007, so it's pretty old, but I don't think the fading is from wear and tear. These older women's Detroit jackets are super nice though. They're still plenty relaxed across the chest and arms, but the body length is a bit shorter than the men's, so I've got this in a medium and it fits absolutely perfectly. The lining is also a bit different compared to the men's. We have a fleece inner lining here, which is honestly pretty nice and less itchy than the blanket lining on the men's vintage Detroits. So I just love wearing this with a t-shirt on underneath during spring, but can also layer up with it during fall and winter. These can be pretty difficult to find, and I was ultra lucky to pick this up on eBay for about 80 quid. But as with anything, just set up an alert on eBay or whichever platform you use, and one will eventually pop up. Okay, I have yet another shirt next, but spring is perfect weather for shirts, so that's why. This one is from Gustin. This is called the Vintage Wool Alpaca shirt in the purple haze colour. As it says in the name, this is an alpaca wool blend which gives it such a nice textured look. Wool can sometimes feel quite rough, but this feels extremely soft and supple with a bit of stretch to it. It almost has a voluminous squidgy feel, very comfortable against the skin. It's called vintage because of the classic plaid design and the almost faded toned down colouring. Purple has a washed out look to it which gives it a lived in feel. This is in their rugged style, which means it's more casual and relaxed than some of the other shirts in their range. It's finished off with mother of pearl buttons and is all put together in the USA. I went for a size small. It fits well around the chest, but maybe just a hair too close on the arms, but not bad at all. I probably could have got away with a medium though. Gustin have a really unique approach whereby they crowdfund the production of a lot of their pieces. You only get charged when the funding reaches 100%, and this means that they only make enough to sell, which reduces waste. They've got loads of unique looking stuff being funded at the moment, so definitely check them out if you're looking to avoid fast fashion. So there's a few of my recent non-fast fashion pickups. There's no hiding from the fact that these are a bit pricier than a lot of the high street stuff, but in return you're generally getting better quality materials and construction and just more unique items. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sarah.